Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 15, 2023. Motorists traversing the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project will not pay toll charges until December 31, 2023. This was announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Thursday as he opened the stretch of road that was completed at a cost of $188 million.
I am told that the various processes and negotiations with the toll operator are underway and that all should be in place to commence tolling by the end of November. However, the government has taken the decision to start tolling on December 31st, 2023. Users will be able to drive on the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the highway without charge until the end of this calendar year.
The 23-kilometer four-lane dual carriageway was built by China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC, under the oversight of the National Road Operating and Construction Company, NROC. It connects the parishes of Clarendon and Manchester and will significantly reduce commuting time. Prime Minister Holness says the contractor will have to fix any related defects on the infrastructure over the next 2 years.
We're not just building the road, and then when the contractor leaves, that's the end of it. There is a 2-year defect liability period where China Harbour Engineering Company will be responsible for any construction-related, design-related defects on the infrastructure.
The Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the South Coast Highway started in 2019 and faced setback due to COVID-19 and inclement weather. Mr. Holness says that in the coming weeks, he will be opening the Harbour View to Albion leg of the project. Emergency works are to begin as early as next week to address several sewerage infrastructure issues plaguing residents in several Portmore communities. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matthew Semuda, made the announcement on Wednesday. He was touring the communities of Armanda Court, Myrtle Way, Passage Fort, and Edgewater in southeast St. Catherine. Minister Semuda says some of the issues identified by residents will be corrected within a week, while others may take longer. Speaking specifically to Passage Fort, he says a large break in the sewage main that connects the community to the sewage processing facility that eventually goes to Soapberry was creating an environmental risk as the leaks and overflow ended up in the canal. The minister has given assurance that the NWC will be looking to move this project forward in the fastest possible time.
Because we understand that every day with this problem, it just adds to the frustration. So we'll be working both with the private sector for those developers who are doing housing complexes within the area, as well as using our own resources from the NWC to get this project and this new line in place as fast as is possible.
Government has purchased thousands of doses of influenza vaccines in preparation for the flu season, which normally starts in October. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the update during a press conference at his ministry on Wednesday.
We're expecting the arrival of some 18,000 doses of flu vaccines purchased by the Ministry of Health and Wellness through the Pan American Health Organization revolving fund for vaccines. The flu vaccine should be available to the public by the end of this week, pending the arrival of the shipment in country.
Minister Tufton says the vaccines will be offered free of cost in the public health system to high-priority groups. These include healthcare workers, children and the elderly with chronic illnesses, pregnant women, individuals who are institutionalized or in state care, and non-health frontline workers. He adds that although these are the prioritized groups, no one should be refused the flu vaccine. Private healthcare providers are encouraged to procure the influenza vaccine through private distributors to provide for the general population. At the same time, the health minister is urging members of the public to take precaution against the viral flu infection, which can spread easily from person to person, mainly by coughing, sneezing, and through close contact.
The flu is to be taken seriously. I don't think sometimes we take it serious enough, as it can lead to pneumonia and blood infections and can cause additional complications like diarrhea and seizures in children. The flu can also worsen chronic medical conditions such as heart or lung disease.
The Ministry of Education and Youth has trained over 40,000 parents to help improve their parental skills and facilitate positive behavior in students. This was done through a joint effort of the Department of School Services, the National Parenting Support Commission, and the Ministry of National Security. The training sessions were held in 556 schools. Parents took part in refresher training, coaching, and sensitization sessions.
We believe this is the beginning of improved parent-teacher relationships and greater involvement of our parents in a constructive way in the lives of their children as they make their way to and from school, and that our parents will know more about what is happening with them.
The Education Minister made the report at this week's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House.
For this new school year, we are also expecting to see improved ability of schools to positively manage students' behavior as a result of these training sessions that were conducted. I want to urge parents to continue to be active and constructive in their children's education, in their not just their academic lives, but also their holistic development.
And finally, the Jamaica Civil Service Association, JCSA, is inviting the public to join in a beach cleanup event in St. Ann tomorrow. For a fifth consecutive year, the JCSA's Brownstown chapter will collaborate with the St. Ann High-Tech Farmers Group to clean 3 beaches in the Discovery Bay area. These are Red Cross Peach Beach, Scenic View Beach, and Fisherman's Beach. The activities are in observation of International Coastal Cleanup Day and will take place between 7 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. During a recent JIS Think Tank, JCSA President Tesha Clark Griffiths said that the exercise was part of the entity's corporate social duty.
So the JCSA is not just about wages, we're not just about salaries, we're not just about industrial relations or even scholarships and grants. We go way beyond that. We are a big deal trade union. We are the only trade union in this English-speaking Caribbean that provides any such service to its members. We look forward to seeing all of you in St. Ann coming out to support the initiative, and of course we know that it will be successful.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.